still has a rookie quarterback who is torching NFL defenses and is very pro-ready. But Jones is... I don't think he would have been the number one... I wouldn't put him at the number one pick. I think it's just that he's in a great situation. I don't think he has a higher ceiling than what Lawrence and Fields have and all them, I think he just got a better situation and he's riding that, So, all right. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they could win at least... They could win one playoff game. At most. They're not going to make the AFC Championship. I'm going to keep repeating that because I know there's going to be some people that are going to say, oh no, they're not making it. They're not winning 2 playoff games. I know they're not winning 2 playoff games, all right? I know they're not making the AFC Championship. All right? But they could win in the wild card and go to the second round. But they are, at best, second-round exits, in my opinion right now. They could easily prove me wrong. All right. So the NFC has a bit of a shakeup going on. And as you guys know, I said the Cowboys are not the team to beat. But looking at the numbers, it seems like it's weird. Because on paper, it's saying that they could be the best. So this is basically what happened on Monday after I got off, I did feel like I was a little harsh on the Cowboys. I feel like I was a little, I just didn't know why. Like, why did I just go off on them like that, I don't understand. And why do I feel like they're not the best team in the NFL? So I looked at the stats, and then I asked myself again, why do I think they're not the best team in the NFL? They have arguably the best offense in the game right now, one of the best receiving cores, an elite quarterback. Zeke is back to his form again, his main form again. What is holding me back from saying they are a contender? And possibly the team to beat. So what was the reason? Was it the defense? No. Even though that's the main reason I said yesterday, that turned out not to be the reason. It's not the defense. Is it the O-line? No. Is it the offense? Hell no. It was the coaching staff. From a former friend of mine, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys coaching staff is what worries me. I don't know how much I trust a guy like Mike McCarthy to bring you to a Super Bowl. He hasn't been there in 10 years, to be completely fair. The last 10 years have resulted in Mike McCarthy. What has he been able to do? All right? He can bring you to the playoffs, and that's it. And that's impressive. There are 7 teams. Right now there's 14 total teams, 7 teams a conference that make the playoffs, all right? So the fact that he can get them to the playoffs that much and got the Packers to the playoffs 8 straight years is wonderful. Problem is, in those 8 years, he came away with 1 Super Bowl. All right? And he had the best quarterback in the game at the time, probably. Aaron Rodgers was probably the best quarterback from, 2010 to 2017, I'd say. You can argue that he was the best quarterback from that span of years. Right up there with Tom Brady, obviously. But, it's very often that McCarthy's, game plan and his coaching style results in a playoff appearance and never a Super Bowl win. He can get you as far as the NFC Championship, and that's it. And we make fun of Aaron Rodgers for him losing in 2 straight NFC Championships the last 2 years. with Matt LaFleur. So you can argue it was Aaron Rodgers that was causing these losses. But I think McCarthy is just as responsible here. Plus, the Packers right now have a coach in his third year. All right? This coach that we have right now is not as broken as McCarthy was in more than half those losses that we have. Like, McCarthy, by the time the Packers had their first playoff appearance, was already in, I believe, year 3 or 4, when they made that 2009 wild card. All right, their first playoff appearance, they lost. And, the more McCarthy got to the playoffs, you would think the more he wins Super Bowls. He didn't. He went from being on top, and he slowly got, worse as it went on. His last 3 playoff appearances with the Packers, divisional round exit, NFC Championship exit. Then, last year, he didn't even make the playoffs. The last 2 years, actually. So I think McCarthy's coaching style results in playoff appearances, not Super Bowls. So that is the main reason I believe the Cowboys will not be the team to beat. All right. I really hope I'm right on this one, because I just went on a full, how long was that? That was a minute and a half of just telling you that he can't win Super Bowls. It would be just so ironic if Aaron Rodgers lost the NFC Championship this year. That would be bad for me. That would make me look terrible. All right, here's something I don't talk about often. College football. Okay. Texas is a team I thought was going to be much better than they are. They have lost 5 in a row for the first time since 1956. All right, this is normally a winning team. And that's just not happening right now. They're just being very, very underwhelming. They're 2-5 right now. All right, they're 2-5 on a 5-game losing streak. And they just lost to the 1-6 Kansas. They just lost to the 1-6 Jayhawks. All right, that is rock bottom. All right, the first 4, I was I was little, but then I thought, okay, Kansas, this is where they can, bounce back a bit and then get back in rhythm. Nope. That's not happening. They don't get back in rhythm. They lose to the Kansas Jayhawks. That is their only win this year. Fact. All right? That's their only win this year against Texas. If you are that one team's win, you would normally feel bad for yourself. But I guess you can make the case that, because sometimes teams just have that one week where, they have that upset. Every team has an upset every year. Unless you go 16-0, you get an upset every year. All right? So sometimes that's just a crazy upset, but that was not what it was. They had already lost 4 in a row before that. And they top it all off by losing to the Kansas 1-6 Jayhawks. Okay. That's not good. That's terrible. That is rock bottom stuff right there. All right. So you know what? I'm just gonna skip the segment about Mac Jones before I annoy the crap out of you guys, because I've been talking about him a lot. So I'm gonna pipe down on him. You guys know what I think. I think he's in the best situation, and he's doing very well. Done. All right. So that was actually all what I would have done yesterday. So now we're going to head on to this next podcast, which was today. So the first segment I was going to talk about today, Warriors versus Nets last night. I've been saying for the past few weeks, KD shouldn't have left there. It was this year. This is when it was going to prove whether or not KD made the right choice. All right, because 2020, the first year he was not there, Steph broke his hand. All right, so they had no one. Last year, Clay got yet another injury. They almost made the playoffs. And Steph arguably should have been the MVP. All right. And then this year, Clay was supposed to come back, and I thought we were gonna have to wait until Clay came back to see the real Warriors. We didn't even have to wait until Clay came back. Steph Curry's leadership skills needed a little time to develop, to kind of get through to the team, And then this year they're 12-2. I think it's pretty official. I highly doubt Clay, when he comes back, is going to make it worse. Because Clay doesn't even have to be as good as he was. He doesn't, because with this roster's already good. So Clay can pipe down on the whole. I gotta hit. If Steph's not hitting threes, I have to. He doesn't, because they're winning no matter what. And normally I say there is no statement win in the NBA until after Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving is when we normally know how good teams are, and then, that's when statement wins happen. But I'm going to make an exception this year. That was a statement win for the Warriors against the Nets, all right? They won in Brooklyn, may I add. In Brooklyn. And it's not like Brooklyn didn't care. They cared. They were going as a 3 seed in the East. And Brooklyn knows what everyone expects from them. Everyone expects them to, everyone expects the Nets to be at top of the East, even without Kyrie. If you have Harden and KD, they should be at top of the East and the NBA. They're the 3 seed in the East. And overall, they are 6th in the NBA at 10-5. All right? And KD was looking to win that. That had a special meaning to KD to win that. People, he's heard people. I'm not the only one saying that he made the wrong decision leaving the Warriors. I'm not. Because as you know, I listen to other, stations and other analysts, and I'm not the only one saying KD should have stayed. So KD's heard. KD's on Twitter. He even sees the Twitter comments, all right? The Twitter posts. KD wanted so badly to win that game, all right? He wanted that, all right? And he didn't. All right? So it's not like this was a meaningless game. This meant something. KD This was special to KD to win. And probably the Nets. They haven't